So, this is the Katy Trail. Let me explain to you. This is the Katy Trail. It starts all the way in Clinton, Missouri, which is basically over by Kansas City on that side of the state. And it follows all the way across the state to the end of it in Mackins. Mackins? Pronounced Mackin? Mockins?
I think it's Macon.
Makins. It ends there. 237.7 miles. Pretty perfect for this type of a long day ride scenario to really kind of find my limit of what I can do. There's no real elevation change. It's pretty flat the whole time. The gravel is premium, and it really gives me a chance to push myself to see what's gonna happen in here when I get tired, when I figure out how to fuel properly and all those type of things. I don't think the route is gonna be the biggest challenge. The challenge is gonna be how well I can prepare my body to take on something that I have to do for 20 plus hours. And at 240 miles, I have to average 10 miles an hour to get the job done. Lately, my ride's been averaging about 14, 15 miles an hour, so that should put me in, but I'm only doing about 3 or 4 hours, so I don't know how that ends at 18 or 20. We got a lot of miles to get in. What's up? First of all, if you're new to the channel, welcome, and for everyone who's been here a really long time, thanks for being around as long as you have. Our channel's gone through a lot of changes, and it's been around for over 10 years at this point. And it's come a long way from me filming with a flip cam in a field and starting to talk to you guys and doing the Highland games. And as it's gone on and we've gotten better at production and filming things, it's grown and it's shifted. We made our film Fragile 2 years ago. If you haven't seen that, please check it out. And we want to make more content like that. We wanted to do something that had purpose. I know that it didn't feel right just doing vlogs anymore and telling that same story. Brant and I, who've been working together, we got a chance this year to go do this amazing project with Indian motorcycles called Epic Pursuits. If you haven't seen any of that, we'll link it below and please check it out. And we learned so much on that trip and through that project of what we can do and how to plan production and what it needs to look like and how to accomplish things on a big scale that we're ready to start making new content for you guys about this story. As I'm now 39 years old and I'm a long way past doing the Highland Games and we have the fake knee, what are we gonna do now? Like, what am I gonna do with the weeks in front of me, and what challenges do I wanna take on? And so I wanna keep challenging myself like I did with Fragile and the run in Bryce Canyon. I learned a lot in that process. So I wanna take on new things that are gonna push my limits and see what I can figure out about myself, learn new sports, learn new skills, and push ourselves behind the scenes and creating the best content that we can for you guys. And sharing everything about this process, not just the training side of it like we have in the past of recovery and programming looks like and what the training looks like, which we're still gonna have all that, but also the other side of what it looks like creating content for a living and running this business. And we have the problems that constantly come up that need to be solved on the fly. Those are the big challenges that get in the way of you doing what you want to do. They're always going to be there. The same way training challenges are going to come up with small injuries or bumps in the road. There's going to be these challenges on the life side of things that you have to figure out how to navigate. As we started making this, we had it really already decided Kelly Starrett was going to be a big part of this. He was going to do the ride with me. We were committed. We had talked about it for a few months and kind of started getting the idea rolling. As of last week, and we're starting to shoot the first piece of content for this, he can't. Just doesn't fit in his schedule, and he doesn't have enough time to commit to the training to give the project what it fully deserves from him. I understand. Kelly's a brother of mine. I don't take it personally. Now we have a new problem to solve. We have to find another person to do this challenge with. You know, we have to find funding for this. We're gonna pitch the offer to my sponsors. It's complicated, but I love it. And it's really fun. And I wanna show people that you can create for a living and you can build all this, but you have to do all the parts. And I just wanna be as transparent in that process the way that I am with my training. So over the next couple weeks, this training is gonna be dedicated to me doing this Katy Trail ride. And it's gonna be titled Not Dead Yet. This is gonna be going through these weeks of my life, this 8 weeks that I'll never get back, that I'm gonna be committed and consumed with chasing this challenge and what I can learn from this new experience. And we're gonna finish that up with another big film like we did Fragile. And we wanna start trying to enter those things into film contests or anywhere else because I believe in the quality content we make. That's a little insight to now what the channel looks like. I'm gonna take on things that scare me. Hard things, big adventures. I'm really interested in what I can do with my machine. And that's always been what I've been interested in, is performance, or whether that's in front of the camera, behind the camera, on the field, in life, at my business, in my relationship. You know, I want to live the most interesting life I can, and I think a lot of that's going to require me being physically fit and capable to do big things. I know that's when I feel the most alive, and so that's what I want to pursue now. I hope you guys join me for the adventure of Not Dead Yet, but in the meantime, I need to go pedal because I have a big long bike ride to do, and I need to make sure my ass is ready to sit on a seat for that long. See you guys in a minute.
Back on it, hitting the Katy Trail. At least gonna do 40 miles today. Riding my giant, different bike than I'll be doing the big ride on. I figured out yesterday it weighs 10 pounds less. So I just kind of want to see where I'm at on a lighter bike today.
Moving pretty quick today. Nothing spectacular, but doing all right. Felt good to talk myself out of like backing out because I couldn't find water. I found some bottles, solved some problems. Bit more of an adventure today than expected, right? So thumbs up to that. Adventure is what we're looking for. I want kind of the unpredictable, figuring it out, problem solving, as well as the physical side of this, pushing myself and maintaining a little bit of how to better talk to myself through long endurance sessions about why we're doing it, why we chose to do it, what we're getting from it, and that this is where we want to be. Instead of the ADD lunacy trying to convince me that there's other things I should be doing that's better, when this is exactly where I should be. "51 miles, a little over 3 hours and 10 minutes or so. So an excellent rip.
Legs are getting better, butt's getting better. Good miles today. I gotta get to the office to get some shit done.
Fight for it.
So while all this is gonna look a lot like it's just pedaling for hours and hours and hours, doing a big ride like this, it's a bit more complicated than that. So let me show you what I'm thinking. This is the plan. As of last week in video 1, I'm doing this in 8 weeks. Now I've been riding and putting in miles and doing things like that. I spent maybe a month doing about an hour a day of training, just trying to season the old butt meat to get ready to do the ride. Starting week 1 last week was my first real week of riding, 200 miles, 200-mile week. Any way I can get it done. Trying to spend as much of that training time outside as I can, because that's part of the adventure and why we're doing it. Week 2 is gonna be another 200-mile week. That's this week. So I'm doing as much as I can, but the thing is, I'm doing every single ride has to at least be 40 miles. Them's the rules. Just setting some different stuff to kind of force myself to keep building up to bigger ride stamina. Week 3 is gonna be a big start to ramping up some miles and time on the bike. That week I'm gonna do at least 240 miles, and one of those rides is gonna be an 80-mile ride, which will be a PR for me and a chance to really see how I feel with that much time in the saddle and how my ass handles it. Week 4, going on a road trip. Going to Austin, Texas. Yeehaw! Got some things to do down there, go see the friends at ONNIT, hang out with Hannah, talk about creating this content, get a ride in together, go ride some hills outside of Austin, which is really rad. Week 5 is a deload. Doesn't mean that you can just dance away with your fucking life, my friend. It's a deload. Handle recovery and handle your shit. Hour a day of riding. Easy stuff, 5 days, maybe 100 miles. Not trying to go fast, just at race pace, which what it's looking like right now is about 14 miles an hour. Week 6, things are getting spicy. 240 miles again, but I'm gonna do it in just 3 rides. However I choose to split that up, it's up to me. Week 7's a big test. I'm gonna head out to Columbia, Missouri, which is about the halfway point of this thing. And one of my best friends, Charlie, lives there. And me and that big monster are gonna take on this thing and ride all the way back to St. Louis. So it's basically doing a half trip and is gonna be like a full systems check. Checking nutrition, checking stopping. I imagine we'll do some type of a fix a flat tire if I need to type of thing. Well, I know I've got the tools for it. And keep trying to move at the pace we are to see what it takes now time-wise to do 120 miles of it. Give us a really good idea 2 weeks out to doing the whole thing. We also get to fully test all of our gear, how we're gonna film, communication between myself and the crew, moving back and forth. Week 7, it's kind of a dress rehearsal. Week 8, back to deload. Simple week, a lot of recovery, massage, chiropractor, anything I need to do to make sure that I am feeling my absolute best for week 9. Like that's all that matters on week 8. I can't just lay around on the couch, but there's gonna be quite a bit of doing less. I'll only be doing about 25% of the work that I was doing the week before. Going into the big ride week, which will be week 9, I'll get a couple little training rides in early in the week and then really take some time off to make sure I'm hydrating and eating the right way. And that way I'm fueled to do this thing. I'll have to go over all my gear and make sure that's all set and ready to go. Just give everything a final once over, get Hannah in town, get both of us set, and go do the damn thing. That's what it looks like. But that's half of it. We also have to figure out yeah, I know. Now that that's done, I gotta go back to riding. That's what I'm thinking anyway. Pretty sure it's gonna work. If not, we'll make some adjustments on the fly. But until next week's adventure of watching a middle-aged dude pedal as far as he can, hope you have a great weekend. Spread hate.